off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Come on, Kate. Why do we have to do it right now?
I've had enough of your monsters.
You're just scared, that's all. You should have said so. Kate is a crybaby. Kate is a crybaby.
Oh, really? So it's me who's afraid of the dark? Or hides from frogs sitting in trees? Okay then, I will find the perfect slideshow for you to watch, and then we'll finally see which one of us is scared. Just you wait, Mr. Smarty Pants. Switching on the magic lantern. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, based on a book by Washington Irving. A long time ago, in a town called Little Sleepy Hollow, there lived a man by the name of Crane, who was always afraid.
Yeah, okay, so what does all that have to do with me?
Once, Crane saw a frog in the swamp and got so scared that he didn't go out of his house for 3 days.
I'm not like him. Last year when I climbed up the tree, there was a toad up there. So see, I'm not afraid of frogs at all.
One day, Mr. Crane went to a club to dance, and there he met a beautiful girl named Katrina.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Mr. Crane liked Katrina a lot. I wish I could have a wife like her, thought Mr. Crane. Everyone would be jealous of me then.
I could watch 1,000 stories like this and not be afraid for a second.
But Crane was not the only one who liked Katrina. The musician named Barnes liked her too.
See? I'm not scared at all.
So Mr. Crane began bragging that he was the bravest man in all of Little Sleepy Hollow. He did it so that Katrina would like him. Hey Mike, is your last name Crane by any chance? So Mr. Crane told everybody that one day, while he was walking along a trail, he saw a horseman who didn't have a head, but he was not afraid. That's how much he lied.
What do you mean he didn't have a head?
You are so brave, Mr. Crane, said Katrina. Well, are you scared yet?
Me? Never.
But the musician Barnes did not believe Crane. I kind of don't believe you either, Mike. Soon, the dance was over, and Mr. Crane went back to his house.
Why are the trees so scary like that? I mean, black.
Suddenly, Mr. Crane saw a horseman. The horseman had his head not on his neck where it's supposed to be, but in his hand. And his eyes were glowing brightly as if they were burning.
That's enough, Kate. Turn it off. I'd rather have monsters than this creature.
The horse galloped straight at Mr. Crane. Mr. Crane turned and ran away in terror.
Turn it off, I'm telling you. I'm not gonna be able to sleep for a week.
Suddenly, the horseman rose on his saddle and threw his head right at Mr. Crane.
Okay, you're not a crybaby. You're not. I don't want to watch anymore.
Don't worry about it, Mike. The scariest part is over now, okay? Anyway, ever since that day, no one in Little Sleepy Hollow saw Mr. Crane again. Some people say he moved away to another city and was never heard bragging about his bravery again.
If I were him, I would have gone far away too.
The next day, on the same place where Crane met the horseman, they found a squashed pumpkin and an accordion owned by the musician Barnes. What it means and how it all got there in the first place, no one ever figured out.
Kate, tell me something. What was a squashed pumpkin doing there?
The accordion player Barnes married Katrina, and they lived happily in Little Sleepy Hollow. And every time he saw a pumpkin somewhere, he would smile just a bit. I wonder why.
So wait a minute, you mean Barnes set the whole thing up? So there really is no man without a head riding a horse. I told you so. You said it was a scary story, but it wasn't.
Well, then maybe we can watch it one more time.
Actually, not right now. Maybe we'll do it another time.
Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, enough playing. We are going to watch a slideshow.
But Kate, hold on, I'm almost done.
No, you are done. I'm taking your controller.
Then I'm just gonna grow up and be bigger than you. I'll buy myself 100,000 controllers and won't give you any of them.
So now you're a meanie?
Yeah?
That's what you want?
Yeah!
In that case, fine. Then we'll watch a slideshow about exactly what happens to those who decide to behave like meanies. Switching on the magic lantern. Treasure Island, based on a book by Robert Louis Stevenson. One day, Jim and his really good friend Billy were fishing. Just then, they saw a bottle in the water, sealed with sealing wax.
Kate, what is sealing wax?
Well, it's something like modeling clay. They opened up the bottle, and inside, they found a genuine treasure map. Wow! Lucky us! Said the two friends, and they went down to the harbor.
It's really important that they don't tell anyone about finding the secret map. Otherwise, they'd have to share the hidden treasure with everyone.
That's when they ran into Captain Silver in the harbor, and he agreed to help Jim and Billy search for the hidden treasure. I am the best captain in the whole world, said Silver.
And why is he a pig?
Pay attention and you'll find out. But Silver turned out to be a pirate. Together with other pirates, he decided to deceive the friends and steal the treasure from them. Do you understand now why Captain Silver looks like a pig?
Yeah, because he acts just like a pig.
So, they loaded up some food and water onto the ship and headed out to sea.
Oh, they're carrying a watermelon. I wish I had some.
Just so you could eat it by yourself, right? But once they saw the treasure island on the horizon, they hoisted a black flag on the mast, stole the map away from Jim and Billy, and threw the friends overboard.
Wow, they're mean.
As soon as Jim and Billy were in the water, they started to drown. All of a sudden, a big fish showed up on the surface. Shark! Yelled the friends.
They shouldn't have started this thing with the treasure in the first place. They should have stayed home and played video games peacefully.
Don't start that again. But it wasn't actually a shark at all. It was a big, friendly dolphin named Ben Gunn. He put the friends on his back and quickly took them to the island.
Hooray! They're saved! Get to the treasure in a hurry, or else the pirates will steal it from you.
Thank you, the friend said to the dolphin, and then ran to the cave. There, they found a chest full of golden coins.
Phew, it's still there. You can buy so many video games with that.
Jim and Billy took the chest and decided to bury it in the sand, right by the sea.
I don't get it. Why did they hide the treasure? Are they going to play hide and seek?
Soon the pirates arrived. They went ashore from the ship, then went into the cave to get the treasure. Oh no! It can't be! Yelled Captain Silver when he saw that the treasure was already gone from the cave.
It serves you right, you meanies. You shouldn't be stealing maps. Right, Kate?
Yup. In the meantime, Jim and Billy made their way to the pirate ship with the treasure and sailed away from the shore.
I wonder how they will split the treasure. Equal parts for both of them?
Watch, don't get distracted. Get them! Commanded the captain, and the pirates jumped into the water and started swimming after the ship. But the big and kind dolphin Ben Gunn blocked their way. Shark! Yelled the pirates and swam back to the shore.
Silly pirates, that's a dolphin. Bubblegum, Big Ben, Bam Boom, whatever, a dolphin.
Jim and Billy went home on the ship. And once they got there, they bought 100,000 ice creams for everyone in town. That's it, the end. See how kind they are? But you probably wouldn't want to share with anyone, right?
Of course I would share. I'm not some kind of pirate, you know.
Will you let me play one of your video games then?
No, I can't. If you're playing games, who'd show me the slideshows?
Magic Lantern. slideshow.
I know when I need to stop. I am not a little kid.
Yes, you are a little kid. Give me the controller.
When you want me to tidy up the room, I'm a big boy. But when I play video games, I'm a little kid.
Okay, then go pick up your toys. Uh-huh, so you don't want to. Then give me the controller and let's watch. Switching on the magic lantern. Gulliver in the Country of the Lilliputians, based on a book by Jonathan Swift. Little Gulliver dreamed about traveling, but in order to be able to travel, he had to first grow up. So, he would always carry a ruler with him. That way, he could find out how much he's grown every day.
Good idea, so no one calls me little.
Well, Gulliver finally grew up and went on a trip. The ship got caught in a terrible storm, and Gulliver got washed overboard.
What's a storm?
Huge waves. You don't know what a storm is? I thought that you said you were big. A huge wave threw Gulliver ashore onto a beach. I'm alive, thought Gulliver happily, and fell asleep.
Phew, he was lucky.
When Gulliver finally woke up, he couldn't move at all. He saw that his body was tied up with thousands of small ropes. He was stuck.
It's probably a gigantic spider.
Gulliver looked around and saw a whole bunch of little men, and every one of them was wearing small yellow boots.
Wow, they are tiny.
The place where Gulliver washed ashore was a very small country. Everything there was small. Even the people that lived there were little people. See, Mike? You would be the biggest little man there in Lilliput.
No, I am not a little man, but maybe you are a giant.
This is great! Gulliver was happy. It's just that I'm hungry. The little people brought him 300 sandwiches and 10 barrels of hot chocolate.
That's what you have for breakfast every morning.
After breakfast, Gulliver measured all the little people with his ruler. They were 6 inches tall. He started preparing for the trip home.
Kate, you better watch your step where you walk, you know. You might squash someone.
But then, the Lilliput king himself came to see Gulliver. He ordered Gulliver to go to the neighboring island and scare all the little people there.
See? All the little people are afraid of you.
Why? Gulliver was surprised. Because they don't want to wear yellow boots, said the Lilliput king. And here's Mike, so little, yet he thinks he's so big, and he argues about small things. All right, I'll go, said Gulliver, and went to the neighboring island. Gulliver brought 100 pairs of yellow boots to the people of that island, and he told everyone to put them on.
And you're a...
Can't think of anything, can you? But the little people there threw out the yellow boots and put on their green ones again.
You're a lamppost!
What? Apologize now. The king got very angry. Go back over there and scare them some more! He shouted at Gulliver. No, answered Gulliver. You go and make peace with them, otherwise I'll scare you.
No, I'm not going to apologize.
All right then, I won't show you any more slideshows. The little people then decided to make up with each other. As a sign of friendship, they exchanged their boots. Now, they all wore one green boot and one yellow boot. You are worse than those little people. And Gulliver found a big boat and sailed home. Once he got home, he told everyone about the little people, but no one there believed him. It's impossible, said everyone, that they would wear one green boot and one yellow boot.
Okay, Kate, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. Now I can see that you're not that little. You've actually grown up.
Yeah! You want to see how tall I am? Where's my ruler?
Oh no, I was wrong. Magic lantern. Mike, stop playing those video games. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Okay, I can't now. I'm catching ghosts. I can get super skills for a ghost.
What kind of super skills?
All kinds. I already have superpower and super speed. Now I just need to get the invisibility skill, and then...
Invisibility? Well, that could be a good thing. But not always, you know. Here, take a look at this. Switching on the magic lantern, the little invisible man. Based on a book by H.G. Wells. Once upon a time, the circus director, Mr. Smith, and his good friend Baum the clown were walking in the park.
Just walking? That's it? That's boring.
Hang on, the story is just beginning. Suddenly, they saw wet footprints magically appear on the trail, and they watched as they walked deeper and deeper into the park.
Whoa, how'd that happen?
I told you it would be interesting, didn't I? What is that? This can't be happening, exclaimed Mr. Smith. We need to find out. And they followed the footprints.
They need to hurry, or they're gonna dry up and disappear.
The trail brought them to an isolated house. All of a sudden, the door of the house opened and closed again. But no one came out or went in. Another mystery.
Well, that's really obvious. It's the wind. Or what's it called? A draft.
Come on, a draft? And the footprints on the doorstep. Who left them? The draft? The friends decided to stay and see what happened. It's strange. There are footprints, but no one around.
Ah, I know what it is. It's a ghost.
Mike, ghosts only exist in your video game. This story is scientific. Soon, the door of the house opened, and a weird stranger appeared in the doorway. He was wearing a long coat, a hat, and dark glasses.
He seems suspicious.
The friends decided to go up and ask the stranger about the magic footprints they saw.
I wouldn't talk to a person like that. Besides, maybe he doesn't know anything anyway.
But when the stranger saw Mr. Smith and Baum the clown, he ran away as fast as he could. The friends ran after him.
He knows something.
Mr. Smith caught the stranger by one sleeve, and Baum caught him by the other, and ripped! The stranger's coat split in two.
He's lucky. Now he has two coats.
It's more like he has two half coats. But look, there was no one under the coat. No one at all. Only the hat and the dark glasses floating in the air. The hat and glasses disappeared into a dark alley.
I told you, it was a ghost.
Mike, why does a ghost need a coat and a hat? Crash! Bang! Boom! A terrible noise came from the alley. A figure in a hat and dark glasses showed up, all covered in paint.
What a twist. I don't know what's going on.
That's the stranger! Mr. Smith and Baum the clown realized.
Wait, the stranger is a ghost?
I am a poor chemistry professor, sighed the stranger. Long ago, I discovered an invisibility fluid and accidentally poured it over myself.
Invisibility fluid? That is so cool! I wish I could have that. Then I would...
Then you would what? You'd gobble up a ton of candy because no one could see you? Ever since then, I've been the invisible man. And if I clean off this paint, I'd be invisible again. And lonely. It's so sad.
I think I would really like that. You just need one fluid to be invisible and another to be visible.
Come join our circus, said Baum and Mr. Smith. The Invisible Man. Magic tricks and mysterious vanishing. The children would love it.
Magic tricks? I love magic tricks.
It's the best place for the Invisible Man. Wow, what a great idea! The stranger was so happy. He joined the circus, and from that day on, he, Mr. Smith, and Baum the Clown became the best of friends. Well, do you still want to be invisible?
Sure I do, the Invisible Mike.
Too bad no one would be able to see you.
Well, then maybe I'll just be a magician, Mike the Magnificent. And then everyone will see me.
Magic Lantern. the video game. We have a new slideshow to watch.
I can't, no! I have to hurry up and solve a riddle right now before I run out of time.
I see. So you like riddles, huh?
Of course, and searching for things. It's more interesting than any of your slideshows.
Okay, then let's check it out. I have a slideshow here for those who really like riddles. And this one is called The Mysterious Island. Switching on the magic lantern. The Mysterious Island, based on a book by Jules Verne. 3 brave friends, Joe, John, and George, decided to go up in a hot air balloon. But suddenly, they were caught in a storm and were taken far out to sea.
Hot air balloon, big storm, lost at sea. I knew it would be boring.
The balloon started to deflate, and the 3 friends fell into the sea like peas from a pod.
So when do we get to the riddle part?
Suddenly, a huge fish with giant scales of steel grabbed a hold of them and took them to the shore of the mysterious island.
It's a sea monster. I played that game before.
The friends were very happy at first, but then they became sad. How are we going to live without a slingshot and a telescope? Joe worried.
They can use the help button.
The next morning, there was a slingshot and a telescope on the beach. It is a mysterious island, thought the friends.
I know, it's aliens. They have a secret lab hidden there, and I bet they are making super nano slingshots.
The friends climbed up an extinct volcano, but there was no one on the island. Who saved them then? And where did the slingshot come from?
A teleporter! There's like this powerful beam of light, and all sorts of useful things come out of it.
Soon, the friends saw a ship on the horizon. At last, they can finally return home.
I don't get it. Who's going to solve the riddles?
But they looked through the telescope and saw a black flag on the ship. They were pirates.
Not just pirates, but ghost pirates. That's why you couldn't see anyone on the island.
The pirates were coming closer and closer. The friends got their slingshot and prepared to fight.
No, you're gonna need a blaster with ecto rays.
And suddenly, a huge wave rose from the sea. The pirates got scared and sailed away. Someone helped us again, the friends said happily.
Boom! It's the ghost hunters shooting with a laser gun, which made the wave rise and they defeated everyone!
The next morning, a small cloud of smoke suddenly appeared and hovered over the island. The extinct volcano awoke. Soon it will erupt and everyone is about to drown.
That means a dragon was asleep in a cave under the earth, and when the hunters shot...
Let's just find out what happened, okay? At the last moment, the fish with steel scales emerged from the sea. It turned out to be a submarine. The hatch slowly opened, and out popped Captain Nemo.
It was a submarine, of course! I should have seen that coming.
Hurry into our boat, he exclaimed. The friends jumped into the hatch without thinking. And just in time, as the volcano exploded at that very moment.
Oh, now I get it. That riddle was way too easy, I told you.
So that's who was helping us, said John. Please, solve another mystery for us. Why do you live underwater? Asked George. Well, Mike, do you have an answer?
I don't need to. Captain Nemo is about to explain it. You just watch.
If you want to know what my secret is, ask the famous author Jules Verne, answered the captain. He wrote a whole book about me. It's called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
What? He didn't answer the riddle. But that's not fair.
Soon, the submarine came to the shore. Captain Nemo brought Joe, John, and George back home and disappeared in the deep sea together with his secret.
Kate, where do we keep books in our house? There's a certain book I need in order to solve a riddle.
Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, stop playing. We're going to watch a slideshow now.
Not a chance. This is so interesting right now.
The slideshow will be much more interesting.
That is impossible. This has a battle with mutant Martians with laser swords. Can you beat that?
Okay, turn off the game, and you will soon find out. Switching on the magic lantern. Knights of the Little Round Table, based on a book by Thomas Mallory. An old king had a newborn son. His name was Arthur. Everyone was very happy about it, especially the kind wizard Merlin.
Oh, yeah, that's very interesting. I'll try not to fall asleep.
Except the evil and jealous witch Morgana was not happy about it.
A witch? Really? What is this? A story for babies?
The witch Morgana tried to kidnap baby Arthur. But Merlin found out about it and hid Arthur with a family of fishermen.
Oh, a family of fishermen. Now we'll see a battle with fishing rods. Whoopee!
Arthur grew up and became a good fisherman. But he had no idea who his real father was.
I'm so sleepy.
Mike, just pay attention. Soon, the old king died, and the knights of the kingdom were discussing who would be the one to take over the throne.
So they talked about it for 100 years and died of boredom all in one day.
The wizard Merlin gathered all of the knights together and showed them a stone with a majestic sword stuck in it. He said to the knights, "Whichever one of you is able to remove that sword from the stone will rule the kingdom."
You mean that's it? What's so hard about pulling out a sword?
One by one, they took turns and tried to pull the sword out of the stone, but no one could do it. The sword was magic.
Maybe it was a laser sword.
Then, the knights decided to hold a tournament, and the winner of the tournament would become king.
Hey, what about the sword? It's not fair.
All the inhabitants of the legendary kingdom came to the tournament. Arthur also came to sell fish there.
Kate, but Arthur is the one. He's the son of the king. He just doesn't know it yet.
The tournament lasted very long, and Arthur got bored and went for a walk. Suddenly, he saw a beautiful sword that was stuck in a stone.
Come on, get it!
Arthur grabbed the handle of the sword and took it out like a knife out of butter.
He really did it!
The knights stopped fighting and went to look at the marvel boy who pulled the sword from the stone.
Oh, it was all set up by Merlin.
And then Merlin emerged. "Everyone, meet your new king. This is Arthur."
I can just imagine how everyone's jaws dropped.
Everyone was very happy that they found their king. And Arthur was a bit lost. He only knew how to catch fish.
I could have taught him.
Merlin decided to give Arthur a little round table so that the best knights could gather around it and present the new king with lots of useful advice.
What kind of advice?
Arthur listened to their advice carefully and became a real king very soon. And before long, legends were being written about King Arthur and his knights of the Little Round Table.
And then? They're legends, huh? Okay, I gotta admit, it's interesting.
Told ya. Magic lantern. Okay, Mike, quit playing that game. We are going to watch a slideshow about love.
What? A show about love? Phew, yuck!
No one cares what you think about it.
It's because you had a crush on Tommy since 5th grade, sitting in a tree. Kissing.
You're the one who has a crush on a girl. Why else would you keep pulling on Mary Collins' ponytail? I know all about it. Mom told me everything. Switching on the magic lantern. A ship with scarlet sails. Based on a book by Alexander Grin. Aisel's father made toy ships for a living, and his daughter Aisel would sell the toy ships in the city.
Aisel is her name? What kind of a name is that?
On her way to the city, Aisel would stop and stare at the sea and dream. She dreamt of someday meeting a handsome prince.
Too bad. There aren't enough princes for everyone.
One day, her father made a small ship with beautiful billowing scarlet sails. My prince will come sailing into port on a ship like this, decided Aisel.
That ship looks like my remote-controlled boat.
Everyone in town made fun of her dreams. Look at the princess, they said, and pointed their fingers at her. They laughed at poor Aisel. Well, what do you know? A town that is full of smarty pants just like you. In those days, far, far away, in a magical kingdom, there lived a real prince named Gray. So, real princes do exist. Gray always dreamed of becoming a captain who would sail around the world and find his true love. Ah, that's so romantic. When Gray finished school, he gathered his crew, packed his belongings, and sailed away on his ship.
Well, it's not like he's trying to find Aisel.
All of a sudden, a terrible storm broke out. Gray had to reach shore immediately.
What for? Aisel isn't there anyway.
He walked ashore, and there he saw Aisel. She was standing near the water, quietly dreaming of her prince, while the wind was blowing through her golden hair.
Wait a minute. What if he doesn't like her? Maybe he would rather meet somebody taller.
Aisel was so beautiful that Gray instantly fell in love.
Whatever.
I get it. You're just jealous because Mary Collins doesn't even want to play with you, does she? Gray went to town to find out more about this beautiful girl. He was told that she's the carpenter's daughter, who spends her time dreaming of silly things, like scarlet sails. If you want a girl to love you, you shouldn't pull on her ponytail. You should make her dreams come true instead. Gray realized he had found his soulmate. He went to the store and bought 300 rolls of scarlet silk.
I know. He wants to sew sails to put on his ship.
Aisel decided to go home. No one else was going to buy a toy ship today, and the prince never came. What if princes don't exist? Thought Aisel.
That's nonsense. Princes do exist, right, Kate?
The next day, she stared at the sea again, for no reason in particular. This became her habit.
Kate, why are you sobbing like that? Don't cry.
And suddenly, Aisel saw the ship with the scarlet sails. Aboard the ship was Gray, who waved at her. Aisel approached him. Oh my! All the townspeople exclaimed. She was right after all! Mike, is something the matter? Are you crying too?
Me? No way! I don't cry. I'm not a girl, you know.
Aisel and Gray climbed aboard the ship with scarlet sails and sailed away to the magical kingdom. And Aisel's father sent them brand new toy ships each and every week as gifts for his grandchildren.
Hey, Kate, do you think Mom will let me give my remote-controlled ship away as a present to someone?
But who would you give the ship to anyway? To Mary? Well, if it really is for her, I guess we can convince Mom. Magic Lantern. Mike, turn off the video game right now. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Kate, wait a minute. I'll just finish off these nasty pirates. And there are only 8 of them left.
Only 8? You are so brave here, but what if you met real pirates, huh? What would you do?
I could beat them even if I only had one hand. I'm not afraid of anyone. I could even beat 100 pirates.
Whoa, even one real pirate is too much for you to handle. So now we're going to watch a slideshow about a boy who you will see is actually really, really brave. Switching on the magic lantern. The Little Captain, based on a book by Jules Verne. One day, Captain James, his beautiful wife Kitty, and their little son Dick set out on a voyage on a great big ship.
Is that the brave boy? He went on a voyage, but with his mom and dad.
That's right, but it was way out into the open sea and on a real ship. The sky was blue, the sun was bright, and the sea was calm.
So no big deal, really.
But suddenly, Dick saw a sailor in the waves who was holding onto a piece of floating debris from a ship.
I bet he's really glad there were no sharks around.
No sharks yet,
Poor guy probably survived a shipwreck.
decided Captain James, and threw him a life preserver.
He was lucky.
Keep watching. Now we'll find out who was lucky and who wasn't. The rescued sailor's name was Nigel. He was a cunning and greedy pirate. He decided to take over James's beautiful ship.
Oh no! It's too bad there really weren't any sharks.
But how to do it? Nigel cooked up a sour soup that made Captain James's stomach upset, and he got a high fever. Who would be the captain now?
You see, I'm never again gonna eat soup.
Of course, it was Dick who came to the rescue. He fearlessly took over the helm and bravely sailed the ship.
I could have done that too, probably.
Yeah, probably. But Nigel broke the compass and secretly turned the ship towards a pirate island.
Whoa, what a meanie.
That's right. They shouldn't have rescued him that day. Land ho! Land ho! Little Captain Dick was happily shouting. They thought they would finally find a doctor to help Captain James.
There's no doctor there.
Yes, I know this place very well.
Said the tricky Nigel.
There's a doctor who lives near here. Let's go. I'll show you where.
No, go back! Don't listen to him! He's lying to you!
But Nigel brought sick Captain James, his beautiful wife Kitty, and little Dick into the jungle, where a band of pirates were hiding.
I knew it!
Tie them up!
Commanded Nigel.
Now we have a new ship.
We're doomed! Cried Kitty. Well, things do look bad. But the resourceful and clever Dick untied the ropes and ran away. The pirates ran after him.
I could have done that too. I run really fast.
Dick climbed a coconut tree.
Come down here!
Yelled the pirates.
Oh no, I would have done that too. Only I'm not allowed to climb trees yet.
You are some rescuer, aren't you? Bam! A huge coconut knocked a pirate to the ground. Bam! Bam! The second pirate also got knocked down by a coconut. Bam! 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 The third coconut knocked over the greedy Nigel. It serves him right.
Yeah, all right. That's what you get for hurting good people.
So then little Captain Dick and his family finally returned to the ship. Captain James was feeling much better, and they were able to continue on their voyage. Well, what do you think now? Still want to sit inside and play video games all day?
You know what, Kate? From now on, I'm going to practice sports so I can become strong too. You never know. It might actually come in handy someday.
Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, turn off the video game. We are going to watch a slideshow now.
It's not fair. I haven't completed this level yet.
I said we are watching a slideshow.
Okay. I hope it's like a computer game, you know, with monsters and knights and cool stuff like that.
Well, let's see. Oh, this is a story just like that, with knights and monsters, just the way you want it. Switching on the magic lantern. Don Quixote, based on the book by Miguel Cervantes. Little Don Quixote liked reading books about knights more than anything in this world. So much that sometimes he forgot to eat or even to sleep.
Oh, just like me. Only I like playing games with knights, not reading books about them.
One day, Don Quixote decided, now I'm going to become a knight and I will fight evil giants.
So he became a knight? But he doesn't have any skills.
He made himself a wooden spear, a cardboard sword, and he put a brass pot on his head. He looked just like a real knight.
But his armor is weak. Who would want to play with a knight like that?
Suddenly, Don Quixote remembered that a real knight needs a sword bearer to carry his sword and his spear.
Well, go ahead. Pick a sword bearer. You better pick someone with magic powers from level 3.
Just then, his friend, Sancho Panza, who was a baker, was passing by. Will you come with me to fight giants? Asked Don Quixote.
No, he's a baker. He wouldn't know anything about fighting giants.
Sancho Panza didn't want to fight giants. He had just baked a lot of tasty rolls. But Don Quixote convinced him.
Well, that's it then. The mission will fail.
Soon they noticed something huge in the distance. Hooray! It's the giant! This will be our first heroic deed, shouted Don Quixote.
No, there's no way they can beat that giant. They need to be a lot stronger than that.
Hold on, that's not a giant, it's just an old mill, protested Sancho Panza.
I don't understand. Was there a giant or not?
No, it's a giant that turned into an old mill, disagreed Don Quixote, and he charged at it.
Oh, he shouldn't have. He is going to lose.
Of course he lost, because it was a huge, powerful mill. I mean a giant.
See? I told you. He is no knight.
But Don Quixote didn't get upset. I will win next time, he said, feeling the bump on his head.
He will be defeated again. This is a strange game. I mean, story.
Next, Don Quixote fought with an army of bewitched giants. Of course, Sancho Panza thought it was just a large herd of woolly sheep.
No, they've got it all wrong. The knight and the giants don't know what they're doing. That's not how video games work.
Another time, there was this tricky giant that turned into a wild lion. Don Quixote wasn't scared at all, but the lion was scared, so it didn't show up for the fight.
But of course. Well done, Don Quixote. He's not afraid of anyone.
Don Quixote decided to fight all the giants in the world. But Sancho Panza missed his bread so much that he convinced Don Quixote they should return home.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought he would defeat someone in the end.
Back home, Sancho immediately hid all the books about knights, just in case.
Well, I understand why. Because he doesn't want Don Quixote to fight giants anymore. He's a pretty smart guy, if you ask me.
And Don Quixote wrote down all of his adventures, and they came out better than the ones he read about in all of his favorite books. Everyone forgot about those books, but we all still remember Don Quixote.
Well, it's a cool story. I get it. Don Quixote didn't have the skills, but he was super brave.
You know, Mike, you should try writing some stories like this too. You really know how to express yourself.
That's a good idea. Just let me complete this level.
Magic Lantern. Mike, enough video games. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Again? But I want to keep playing some more.
Then I won't be your friend anymore.
Who needs to have friends anyway? They only bring trouble.
So, you think no one needs friends? Then I know the perfect slideshow we'll watch today. Switching on the magic lantern. Young D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers, based on a book by Alexandre Dumas. Young D'Artagnan was known to be very brave, but also very grouchy. So he had a lot of enemies, but no friends at all.
Why do you need friends if you have a sword?
One day, D'Artagnan challenged all his enemies to a duel. They were three musketeers. Modest Athos, brave Porthos, and handsome Aramis.
Enemies are better than friends. With friends, you have to share everything and help them when they're in trouble. Blech.
But Athos, Porthos, and Aramis had enemies too. The evil guards. D'Artagnan didn't like the evil guards at all, so he helped the musketeers.
See how much fun you can have with enemies? Swish, swish, swish.
There were 5 times as many guards as musketeers, but the musketeers battled anyway. In fact, they fought like brave lions.
Lions? Can chickens fight like lions?
The guards got scared and ran away, and D'Artagnan and the musketeers decided to be friends. All for one, said the musketeers. One for all, answered D'Artagnan.
You see what I mean? I don't need any friends at all. I'm fine.
Now, they did everything together. They had hot chocolate with marshmallows together and fought the guards together.
Oh, look, marshmallows, like the ones you had.
The fame about their accomplishments reached the Queen. The Queen sent an order for D'Artagnan to come to her palace at once.
What'd she do that for?
Oh, by the way, I only talk to friends. The Queen really needed some help. The evil guards had managed to steal her favorite parrot, Buckingham.
They're so mean, just like some people here. Right, Kate?
D'Artagnan went to look for the parrot immediately. Athos, Porthos, and Aramis came along because they did everything together.
Okay, if you don't want to talk, then don't.
The guards were waiting in an ambush. Surrender! They yelled, leaping from their hiding places.
It's not fair!
Musketeers never surrender! They replied as they drew their swords and prepared to fight. D'Artagnan rode on ahead by himself. I'm sure the guards won't have fed the parrot. He must be hungry. He worried.
Okay, I agree. He needed his friends, but only that one time.
D'Artagnan finally found the guards who had stolen the parrot Buckingham. But there were too many of them. Looks like D'Artagnan won't be able to fight them alone.
Where are those friends of his now? Never around when you need them. That figures.
But D'Artagnan's friends arrived just in time. Together, they can beat all the guards in the world.
Hooray! Good job, friends.
Buckingham, the little parrot, was saved. He was scared and hungry. D'Artagnan fed him right away.
Okay, you're right. We do need friends. Come on, tell me that you're still talking to me.
Okay, but only for the sake of our friendship. D'Artagnan took the parrot to the Queen right away. She was very happy to see him. And as a reward, she gave the friends a whole box of the best marshmallows in the world.
How about we do it like D'Artagnan? 2 for 1.
And 1 for 2. And D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers continued to drink hot chocolate with marshmallows for years to come. Even 10 years later. And 20. And 50.
Now's a good time to bring out your marshmallows. You're supposed to share with friends.
Okay, I'll share since we're friends. Magic Lantern. Mike, enough video games. We're going to watch a slideshow.
But Kate, I just started.
I said you need to turn it off.
I didn't finish exploring the map yet. There's just one more blank spot left.
So you're an explorer, huh? Then here's a slideshow just for you. It's all about the blank spots on the map. Switching on the magic lantern. The Very Lost World. Based on a book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Professor George Challenger often went on long journeys to tropical countries to study butterflies.
But there are no more blank spots left on the map. Our kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Yates, told us so.
While he was on one of those journeys, Professor Challenger stumbled onto a very lost world. One of the amazing things he spotted was an ancient pterodactyl high above the trees.
Pterodactyl? But I thought that they're all extinct.
Other scientists didn't believe Professor Challenger.
Challenger, you need glasses.
They shouted.
Pterodactyls are long gone from this world.
I told you so.
I believe the professor,
You're all wrong.
said Challenger.
I will prove that I am right. Who's coming with me to the very lost world?
I am, said Edward Chickens.
There's no such place as the lost world. That's all a lie.
Challenger and Chickens packed lots of supplies into huge backpacks and finally set off on their adventure.
There's only gonna be butterflies there.
They sailed down rivers, hiked across mountains, climbed into canyons, and finally they reached the very lost world. But there were no pterodactyls to be found.
I knew it.
They were so upset they lost their appetite and went to bed without dinner. Were the other scientists right? All the pterodactyls went extinct? Chickens was really worried.
Of course they went extinct. I want a new story. This one's boring.
But early in the morning, they heard a great flapping of wings and gritting of teeth.
Hooray! A pterodactyl!
Really?
Run before it eats you!
Yelled Challenger, and he ran away. Chickens ran after him.
It's not only very lost, but also a very dangerous world.
Too bad no one is going to believe us.
Yelled Chickens as he ran.
They will. Of course they will.
Answered Challenger, catching his breath.
They have to catch it.
Challenger took out a big butterfly net. He suddenly stopped, turned around, and held the net up. The pterodactyl flew right into the net.
Yay! Got you, you monster!
Challenger and Chickens put a muzzle on the pterodactyl so that it couldn't bite. Then they got on its back.
Fly home!
Said Challenger, and the pterodactyl obeyed.
This adventure is pretty cool.
The pterodactyl brought Challenger and Chickens right to where the scientists were having a meeting.
Now we'll see if they believe us.
The scientists were very scared. One of them even fainted.
Do you believe me now?
Said Challenger.
Yes, we believe you. Now please, just get it out of here.
They begged.
That'll teach you.
Challenger and Chickens got off the pterodactyl, and off it flew, heading home and grinding its teeth on the way.
I wonder where its home is. Where is that very lost world?
Professor Challenger went back to studying butterflies, and Edward Chickens decided that he was going to write a book. A book in which he described his interesting adventures in the very lost world. Mike, where are you going?
Where? I'm going to travel. Do you know how many blank spots there are on the map? What if someone else discovers them while I'm sitting here playing video games?
Magic lantern. Okay, Mike, enough with your video games. We are going to watch a slideshow.
Not yet, Kate. I'm still working on the same level.
I said it's slideshow time.
You're always bossing me around. Everybody's bossing me around. When I grow up, I will go live on an island, all alone, without you.
So you want to go live on an island? All by yourself, too? Well, in that case, we'll watch a slideshow. How's that? All about someone who's living on an island and is alone, too. Switching on the magic lantern. Little Robinson Crusoe, based on a book by Daniel Defoe. Little Robinson's mom and dad really wanted him to become a baker, but instead he told them, I want to be a traveler.
Me too. I'll run away on a ship.
But the ship was caught in a storm. A huge wave washed Robinson overboard and away from the ship. Well, still want to be on a ship?
Actually, I'll take a train instead.
Just then, an island emerged in the distance. Hooray! I'm saved! Robinson got excited.
See? Nothing happened to him.
But there was no one on the island. The island was uninhabited. Poor Robinson. He was all alone.
He's gotta be the happiest guy in the world. Now he can do anything he wants.
Well, Robinson wanted to go home. He built a big boat, but he wasn't able to drag it to the water.
Why wouldn't he want to live on the island? He can play in the sand and swim all the time.
How would he cook food?
Why does he have to cook it? Just pick macaroni from the tree and eat it.
Anyway, Robinson built a house, made some clothes, and even learned how to bake buns. How happy his mother and father would be now.
He's the one who should be happy. All you hear from your parents is, don't do this, don't go there, wash your hands.
Robinson found a talking parrot and named him Polly. However, even Polly couldn't help him return home.
Polly.
Many years passed. One day, on a beautiful Friday, Robinson was walking along the beach when suddenly he saw some strange footprints in the sand.
So his parents found him then, huh?
Robinson followed the footprints and soon he saw a native. It was terrible. Evil and hungry crocodiles were going to eat him. So, still want to go to the island?
Okay, not so much.
Robinson chased all the crocodiles away. The native was saved. Robin named him Friday, 'cause it was Friday.
Phew, he got away.
Now Robinson had a real friend. Robinson taught Friday how to say good morning, thank you, and you're welcome. And he taught him how to cook buns.
That's a really good friend, not like some others.
One day, far out in the sea, a ship emerged. Hooray, hooray! We're saved! Shouted Robinson and Friday.
Oh, good things never last.
But there were evil pirates on the ship. They went ashore and started hurting animals and birds.
Oh, Kate, I'm not gonna go away. I'll behave.
So do you really mean that? And Robinson and Friday set all the crocodiles free. And they were really hungry. Ouch! Ouch! Yelled the pirates, and they climbed up the palm tree.
Yeah, it serves you right.
So, Robinson and Friday went aboard the pirate ship and sailed home. Goodbye, little pirates!
Now they'll learn what it's like to suffer. Learn what it's like to cook buns.
Robinson and Friday soon made it back home. Then baked tasty buns for everyone and began telling them all about their adventures.
Now I'm hungry too. Kate, will you cook something for me, please?
Well, why don't you go pick some macaroni from the tree?
No, I can't do it without you.
I could have told you that, Robinson. Magic lantern. time for us to watch a slideshow now.
1 more minute, Kate. I'm almost done.
This slideshow is about kings.
Let's play a game. I'll be the king. And since I'm the king, I can do whatever I want to. And no one is allowed to bother me.
Keep dreaming, Your Majesty. Your people want to watch a slideshow. Switching on the magic lantern. The Little Prince and the Little Pauper. Based on a book by Mark Twain. One fine day, a little prince was born in the grand royal palace. His parents decided that they would name him Edward.
Lucky him. Now he can give orders to everyone else.
On that same fine day, a little pauper by the name of Tom was born in a poor area just outside the city. He wasn't as lucky. Everyone was very happy about Edward. They shouted, "Hooray!" threw their hats in the air, and danced for days.
See? The people are really happy now.
They're happy because the prince is still little and he can't order anybody around yet. But as for Tom, no one was happy about him. His mother and father already had 10 other children, and they had to feed them all and dress them too.
You mean that they can't get dressed by themselves? In our kindergarten, we learned how to do that from the start.
Tom's life wasn't a happy one. In fact, he was only happy when he was reading books about little princes.
Sounds like a bad country. I would never live there.
Mike, the country is only as good as its king. One day, Tom went to see the palace. He wanted to see where Prince Edward lived. Prince Edward saw Tom, and so he invited him inside to play.
Cool, all they need now is a TV set.
The prince treated Tom to some ice cream, and Tom taught the prince how to use a slingshot and how to stand on his head.
And they get to eat ice cream all day long.
The boys decided to switch clothes, since they looked alike. Now, Tom looked exactly like a prince, and Edward looked like a pauper.
Whoa, which one is which now?
At that moment, the servants rushed in, saw the pauper, and kicked him out of the palace.
Hold on, you're kicking out the wrong person.
"I am not the prince," yelled poor Tom, but no one would listen to him. "He's got brain damage," the servants whispered.
And what does brain damage mean? Did he get a boo-boo on his brain?
"Well, in a way." "I am the prince," yelled Edward. No one listened to him either. "He's crazy," laughed the people passing by.
He is not crazy and he doesn't have brain damage. He's the real prince.
Tom had to learn to behave like a prince. He had to use a napkin to wipe his mouth and to wash his ears.
Really? The prince has to wash his ears too? That is so wrong.
And Prince Edward was caught by robbers, and he decided to teach them how to act properly. He taught them how to use a napkin to wipe their mouths and wash their ears.
Seems like being a king isn't as fun as I thought.
I guess someone here started using their head. Finally, Edward was very lucky to be able to get back into the palace. Tom was very happy to see him. "Here is your prince," he yelled.
I know why. He just got tired of washing his ears.
Edward changed and became a prince again. And then he became a king, and a very kind one, because he knew how hard it was for the poor people to live in his country.
Yeah, it's hard to become a kind king.
And it's easy to be an evil king. Tom moved into a small house in the royal garden. Little children would come there to eat ice cream and to listen to all the wonderful stories about princes.
Okay, I've decided I'm not going to be a prince, even if someone asks me to.
And what are you going to be? A pauper?
I'll be an ice cream man. He gets to eat ice cream and doesn't have to wash his ears either.
Magic lantern. Okay, Mike, that's enough. We're going to watch a slideshow.
You want me to stop now? I just sat down a second ago.
Oh, come on now. You know that lying is a really bad thing, right?
I'm not lying. I said I just sat down a second ago. Before that, I was standing.
Oh, Mike, sometimes you're so tricky. But be careful. Someone might be trickier than you. I'm switching on the magic lantern. Robin Hood, based on English ballads. Lives comfortably in a treehouse, deep in the heart of Sherwood Forest.
Hold on, one question. Can bandits be noble?
Robin Hood was a bandit because he stole money from the rich people. And he was noble because he gave the money to poor people.
See? He's sly, and they make slideshows about him. I want to do that too.
The poor people liked Robin Hood very much. And the rich people couldn't stand him. And especially the greedy and silly sheriff.
He is so nasty.
The sheriff decided to try and lure Robin Hood out of the forest.
I will organize an archery tournament to find the greatest archer. Robin Hood will certainly come and enter that,
He thought. You see, the sheriff is just as tricky as you are. Robin Hood was an incredible archer. Every time he aimed at a target, he always hit the bullseye. So as soon as he heard about the tournament, he started packing up for the journey.
I am more like Robin Hood. I like shooting at targets too.
It's a trap, Robin Hood's friends warned him. The sheriff wants to outwit you. Oh, really? We'll see who outwits who, answered Robin Hood. Archers from all over the kingdom showed up for the tournament. The sheriff was rubbing his hands with excitement.
Soon Robin Hood will be here, and I will catch him,
he thought happily.
And you can be the sheriff then.
It's a deal. Then that means I'll be able to catch you.
Don't even think about it.
The participants were trying over and over again, but no one could hit the bullseye. Where is the best archer of the kingdom? Hasn't Robin Hood arrived? Huh, so where is our brave hero? How come Robin Hood has not shown up? The sheriff was enraged.
Robin Hood found out that it was a trap. Good thing that at least the prize, a sack of gold, will be left with me,
he thought. Oh, a sack of gold! It's good to be sheriff. But then, a very old lady came forward, wrapped in a shawl.
Who is that old lady? Where's Robin Hood?
She took a bow and shot into the bullseye. She got it right in the middle. The old lady is the champion! Shouted out the people watching.
Now she'll get all the gold.
The sheriff had to give the gold to the old lady. Talk about a bad day. The sheriff was miserable. No Robin Hood, no sack of gold.
It serves him right. That's what he gets for being mean.
And the old lady took the sack, got on her donkey, and rode off, straight to Sherwood Forest.
And Robin Hood is going to steal that gold. He is a bandit.
Mike, Robin Hood is a noble bandit, and noble people don't steal things from old ladies, you know. On her way, she took off the shawl, and it turned out to be Robin Hood.
Yay! I knew it all along. How about that, Sheriff? You were outwitted, weren't you?
Robin Hood opened the sack and started passing out the gold to everyone who lived in the forest.
And I'd say outsmarted, too.
Mike, you can't tease people like that. And once the sheriff found out that Robin Hood fooled him, he kicked himself.
All right, Kate. Good story. Can I play a game now? Hey, where's my controller?
The controller? I was actually able to hide it from you while you were laughing at the sheriff. Outwitted, outsmarted.
You didn't outsmart me. You can keep it for as long as you like. I'm Robin Hood. I share with everyone in the forest.
Magic lantern. controller. We're going to watch a slideshow right now.
Oh, really? Which one?
Don't worry, it's a good one.
Is it interesting? What's it about? Are there cool fights in it?
Oh my, so many questions. Do you know what happens to those who stick their noses everywhere? No? Well, now you will. Okay then, switching on the magic lantern. The Time Machine. Based on a book by H.G. Wells. Jerry Smith was always getting into things. He was a very nosy boy. His mom would always say, "Jerry, don't stick your nose where it shouldn't be."
Why? What was he doing?
I wonder what would happen if I don't listen to Mom, thought Jerry, and continued to poke his nose into everything.
What is that spring thing for?
When Jerry grew up, he became a professor. Very respected, but very nosy.
How does that machine work anyway?
I wonder what it would be like in 100 years, thought Jerry. And he invented a time machine. For a professor, it's easy peasy.
Why did he build it in the first place?
Jerry got into the time machine and traveled into the future.
One question.
Mike, is it possible for you to be quiet for 5 seconds?
What's it like in the future?
Finally, peace and quiet. There were a lot of skyscrapers in the future, and robots walked, and flying cars sailed above the streets.
Do they have battle robots?
Not again. Jerry thought, I wonder if I go further into the future, what else I will see. And flew on.
Yeah. What else?
The skyscrapers were gone. Instead, there were very big flowers and really deep wells.
What are the wells for?
I wonder what's inside those wells, thought Jerry, and he was about to stick his nose in it. But suddenly, he was surrounded by little funny people.
I don't get it. Why are all these people wearing such strange hats?
Just watch. Ugh, wells are not interesting, the little people said. Let's swing on the flowers instead.
What are those flowers called?
Jerry swung on the flowers and then went back to his time machine. But the time machine was gone!
Where did the time machine go?
There were strange footprints leading to one of the wells.
Whose footprints are those?
Very interesting, thought Jerry, and went into the well. And there was the time machine sitting at the bottom of the well. And sitting next to the time machine was a huge, creepy spider. He was the one who stole it.
Where did a spider come from?
I wonder, Jerry thought to himself. And suddenly, the huge, creepy spider attacked him. And it seemed like it wanted to eat him.
What does it usually eat?
Usually it eats little kids who like to ask too many questions. Jerry quickly jumped into his time machine and traveled back into the past. It's not as interesting there, but there are no wells with spiders.
So then what happens next?
Mike, I should send you into the future. Jerry came back home, and everyone would ask him, what's it like in the future? What's it like? It's interesting, Jerry would answer, and it was the truth. That's all. The end. Do you have any more questions?
Just one. When are we gonna watch another slideshow?